Hey guys, I'm going to run through the meaning of the eclipses, and I'm going to show you my own chart and how you can figure out where and how the eclipses are going to happen for you and what they mean. So what I've got is the times here, which I'm going to read out to you. First eclipse is going to be a partial solar eclipse, and that's going to happen on the 12th of July, and this is Eastern time, by the way, the 12th of July at 22:47 p.m. in the sign of Cancer. That's going to be at 20 degrees in the sign of Cancer. The next one is the total lunar eclipse that's going to happen on July the 27th at 16:20 in 4 degrees of Aquarius. The next one is going to be a partial solar eclipse that's going to happen on the 11th of August, and it's going to happen at 5:57 a.m. in 18 degrees of Leo. So the idea is eclipses, they are to do with our soul journey and soul work. So this means that, for instance, wherever it falls, whatever house it falls in, is the area of life that it's going to affect for you. And I found when I've looked at these things that it definitely falls into alignment with what's going on in my life, or has been going on in my life, or the desires for my life and what I want to shift and shape and change. The thing is with changes, they're not always smooth and they're not always pleasant, but if things were just pleasant and nice all the time, then it means that we wouldn't grow, there would be no soul growth. And soul growth can be great, it can be magnificent and fun, but definitely there's some pushing us into a way of being and being our best, the best version of ourselves. So how you can see how or where the eclipses are going to fall is by knowing your time of birth. That is the way to know time, place, date. Clearly most of us know our date and most of us know the place, but not all of us know the time, so it's worth inquiring before you look into this. I'm going to put astro.com where you can go to that webpage and look at your own chart by putting in those details, your date, place and time, and then it will throw up a chart for you and you'll be able to work out how I'm going to show you. You're going to be able to work out by writing down the dates that I've given you. If you just play back this video, then you'll be able to work out what houses they're falling in. So maybe to make it easy, the first one is on the 12th of July. It's going to be at 20 degrees of Cancer. The next one is going to be on the 27th of July, and that's going to be 4 degrees of Aquarius. And then the next one is on the 11th of August, and that's going to be at 18 degrees of Leo. So now I'm going to share my screen and show you my chart. So the first one, note that here, what you're going to see is that I have my date here, which says the 13th of July. And the reason I've done that is to just simplify it for anybody watching this. So that's the transit date. So this means that you can see here that the first one is going to be at 20 degrees of Cancer. So you can see that the sign Cancer is there. And if we count the degrees, we've got 5, 10, 15, 20. So you can see that this is going to be where the solar eclipse is going to happen. So without changing the dates here, how do I figure out where the next one's going to happen? So I know it's going to be a total lunar eclipse, and I know that it's going to happen on the 27th of July, and I know it's going to happen at 4 degrees Aquarius. So that's all I need to know is the 4 degrees of Aquarius, and I know the date it's happening. So we've got Aquarius here, we've got 5 degrees, so it's going to happen in my second house, okay? The next one is going to be the 11th of August, and it's going to be at 18 degrees of Leo. So where's Leo in my sign? Here it is. So again, we go 5, 10, 15, and then we've got 16, 17, 18. So it's just going to fall inside my 9th house. So the reason the houses, the reason it's important to know where it's falling is because each house represents an area of life, okay? The first house, simplifying, really simple language here I'm going to use. The first house is about me, okay, or you. It's about us, not together, but individually. The second house is about our needs, and it's about things. So our desires, needs, wants. The third house is about communication. The fourth house is about home and family. And the fifth house is fun, joy, play. The sixth house is about routines and also health and routines, okay? Seventh house, relationships, all relationships. Everybody we interact with is a relationship. And we also have a relationship to the world, but this is about relationships with people. The eighth house is birth, death, taxes, transformation. It's can sound scary, birth, death, taxes, but it's, you know, it's transformation. We've also got the ninth house, which is to do with travel and education and spirituality. We've got the 10th house, which is to do with work and how we appear to in the world. The 11th house is about groups, and the 12th house is about we are all one. It's surrender and God, and, you know, just the totality of all things. So if I run through something else with you, traditionally the first house is Aries. The second house traditionally is Taurus. The third house is Gemini. The fourth house is Cancer. The fifth house is Leo. The sixth house is Virgo. The seventh house is Libra. The eighth house is Scorpio. The ninth house is Sagittarius. The 10th house is Capricorn. And the 11th house is, let me think here, Aquarius. And then the 12th house is Pisces. But what we have, because when we have the time of our birth, we actually get our rising sign, which you can see here, my rising sign, where it says AC, where I'm pointing there, and you've got the AC there. My rising sign is Scorpio, so that's how I show myself in the world. But I'm actually a Gemini because my sun is here. And I've also got a Gemini moon. So those three planets are worth finding out on your chart to find out who you are. So you can see here, look, I've got sun, Gemini, moon, Gemini, ascendant, Scorpio. So sun sign, who I'm showing myself to be, who I am. The moon, my emotions. And then Scorpio, rising sign, so the cloak I wear in the world, like what people see as well. So it's very interesting to figure out who we are, and also we do have free will, but we can basically see what energies we're working with by knowing our chart and our traits and what we need to decondition to be and live the best possible life. So what I'm going to say, I'm going to leave it here, come off, stop sharing. So what I can do as well, I can read to a degree. I've been doing some studying evolutionary astrology with somebody called Simon Forster, who's a brilliant astrologer. You can find him on YouTube and Facebook, and he does courses as well. So I'm being taught by Simon, doing courses with him and listening to his material. And there's also Jeff Wolf-Green. So in evolutionary astrology, we basically take Pluto as the basis, and then we look at the nodes, the south node, past life, north node, this life. So I hope this is a useful little lesson for anybody out there, and then also to figure out where your eclipses are and what they mean. I don't know if I read this actually before I go. The 9th house, if we take the last eclipse, which is going to fall in my 9th house, excuse me while I find this, we're going to look at the following, that the 9th house, the last solar eclipse that's going to happen on the 11th of August is going to fall 9 for me. It says an eclipse in the 9th house lures you out of the known and into the edge of your personal frontier. A path opens, and with a trust in the universe, you signal you're ready to grow beyond your own borders. This can involve travel, a sabbatical, or a time as an exchange student, your philosophy is altered, or you begin a course of study knowing not how it will change you. So there you go. Astrology is brilliant, and it's helped me, and I hope this has helped you. Thanks for watching. Any questions, do leave below. Thank you.